Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Luke Mick here. Glad to have you with me this evening. If you clicked on this video, you clearly know what you are in for. Vinegar Syndrome's Black Friday 2021 sale commences in about 4 days, so I am strapped for time to get this video out to all of you before that sale begins. I feel like I just finished editing my enormous new Criterion marathon and posting that video, and I'm already very quickly diving into this next one with very limited time. So I'm going to try to crank through these sale recommendations, films that I have really enjoyed over the past couple of years that I would suggest picking up. We should probably just jump right into it so I can get this video out ASAP for all of you looking for some recommendations. And before we do get into it, I'm already postponing here, but I am pretty organized, actually. I have a list of films here, of course the stack as well, and I actually have the counts for how many limited edition slipcovers are left over for the films that I did compile this list about 4 hours, I think, before the site went offline, so these are probably pretty accurate. I can't imagine that too much has changed in that 4-hour time period. Let's get into it here with the first film that I'm going to recommend to you all, and let me see how many slipcovers are left. This one has been out for a year, and it is down to 975 slipcovers, and everyone loves this title, everyone recommends it, and I don't think I've talked about it on the channel, but I have to. It's an obligatory, I need to talk about this film quickly. Deadly Games Dial Code Santa Claus. This is a fucking beautiful slipcover, so you don't want to miss out on this one, folks. 975 left of this. It will be on sale at half off the MSRP price, so I don't even know what the price will be for, but it'll be cheaper than ever, basically. It's a 4K UHD, comes with a Blu-ray. This is stacked with a lot of great special features, and the film itself is wonderful. It is actually very well made home invasion film. It's like Home Alone, but R-rated, and it's French. The lead actor, this kid, is enormously likable. He is such an incredible child actor, and he's actually the director's son, so that might have something to do with the sort of authenticity and quality of his performance. And it's just a great film. It's tense, it's shot really well, the setting is really cool. He lives in like a big mansion type house. The house itself has all these weird nooks and crannies and like enormous playrooms that are just completely bonkers and unrealistic. Great film. Everyone I hear basically loves this film. If you don't like this film, let me know down below. I want to know of people who actually don't like that one, because clearly there have to be people out there that don't like that film, but I think it is one of the top tier in terms of film quality that Vinegar Syndrome has put out. This next one, I actually hate this film, and I just wanted to point out a film that I hate, and mostly just as a sort of call for question. I just want to know, has anyone out there seen this film, and do they like this film? And it is called Whodunit. This one was released, I think, in the fall of 2020, and it does still have the slipcover available. There are very limited left. There are 287 of these slipcovers left, so if you want to grab this film, I feel like this one will probably sell out during the sale, and possibly Dial Code Santa Claus too, to go back to that for a second. But back to Whodunit. This film I fucking hated. I did not like this movie almost at all. The biggest unique identifier for Whodunit is that all of the slasher murder scenes, a song plays, and it goes something like, stab me, stab me, stab me, face to face, and then it's like,
burn me, burn me, burn me.
And it's catchy and annoying, and it's like the coolest thing the movie has going for it, but it's about like actors who are going to be in a film and they go to an island. It's also called Island of Blood. That's like its alternate title. And it was just stupid. It was just fucking boring and lame, and there's like a 30-minute sequence in the middle where these two characters have beef and they are blaming the murders on one another, and then they just like run aimlessly around the island for so long. And I was like, what the hell is even happening in this fucking movie? I hated Whodunit. I really didn't like it. The slipcover shows so much promise, but the film actually sucks. If you like this film, please let me know, because I would like to know if anyone out there actually liked that movie. Moving on to the next one, but right after I take a drink of water from the Star Wars glass that I think I've had since 5th grade, you can see Princess Leia is not looking too too great. And where's our R2-D2 is pretty much unscathed, but Leia Organa is a little fucked up. Oh, and by the way, the first ones I'm showing you are the ones that have slipcovers still available, and then I'll have a bunch of standard editions to go through in the second part of this video, just so you all are aware of that. This one has been out for a while, and it has 349 copies left with this limited edition slipcover, and I'm gonna guess it's probably going to sell out, but it's a very underrated film. Slipcover's been in stock forever, and it's called Best Friends, and this is... It's been a little while since I watched it, but it might be like part exploitation, but it's mostly a drama about these two friends who have just grown apart. They're in much different stages of their life. One of them has matured, he's getting married, and the other one is suffering from some PTSD. I think he was in one of the wars, and he just has not matured, and he still wants to live a life, you know, on edge and partying, and he wants to ride motorcycles around. And it becomes this really tense drama where these two characters who have been best friends forever are growing apart in just the most traumatic and just difficult of ways. It's a film that gets pretty damn dark, if I'm being honest with you. And it's not, like I said, very exploitative. It's not a horror movie. It's not your typical Vinegar Syndrome affair, in all honesty. It's a bit of a different beast compared to the stuff they would normally release. So if you're looking for a good 70s drama with actually good performances from all of the leads and just lots of really tense and awkward situations and mentalities going head to head, then this is an interesting film to watch. So I would recommend Best Friends. I think it's legitimately a pretty good film. Get that one before it sells out, because it's underrated. It's a bit of a hidden gem, in my opinion. The next one here is actually an AGFA release. It's not one of the full-on Vinegar Syndrome titles. It's a partner label. It does have the slipcover still in stock, and there are 788, and I honestly don't know if this is going to sell out, because there are so many options on their website right now with all the partner labels that I could imagine this one surviving the sale, but maybe not. But it is The Curious Dr. Humpp, and this is a really weird 1960s exploitation film, and it's incredibly horny. And what does this doctor do? He's doing some sort of sex experiments, and he wears this mask. Here's Dr. Humpp. This film, I'm just recommending it because I don't really know why. It's something that I did not love, but it's just such a weird oddity of the era. One of my favorite parts about it, and I did not listen to this entire commentary track, but there is a commentary track on here by director Frank Henenlotter, the director of Basket Case and Brain Damage and Frankenhooker, a bunch of films. And the way he talked about this film, he was so knowledgeable about it, and he really loved it. And hearing him explain every detail that he knew about the film was really interesting. Like, I would basically recommend this film for his commentary track, because it's just so, he's so just, I don't know, intellectual about this film. He has so much to say about it, and I just found his words to be really intriguing regarding this film. So that's The Curious Dr. Humpp. I don't think this one will sell out. It's possible. Yeah, I would check that one out if you're looking for something horny and weird from the late 60s. Okay, this one has over 1,000 left, but it is a box set, so it could potentially sell out. Box sets are usually hot ticket items during the beginning of these Black Friday sales. It is the Homegrown Horrors Volume 1 box set. This came out back in May, I believe, and I would say that it is the best box set that Vinegar Syndrome has released this year, and maybe of all time. Potentially, it's up there as one of the best, if you ask me. And this includes 3 regional horror movies out of Ohio, Massachusetts, and Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri. So regional horror meaning, I guess, I don't know the exact definition for regional horror, but I think of it as films that are made outside of the studio system, films that are not made in enormous cities like New York, LA, Atlanta, Chicago. They're kind of like, not quite homemade, but actually, one of these is definitely basically a homemade movie. But let me pull each one of these out and talk about them. I think a lot of people interested in Vinegar Syndrome might know about this box set. It was kind of a big deal when it came out, and it's very interesting. The first one here that I'm going to hold up is Winter Beast. I think this is generally received as the fan favorite in this set. This is the alternate artwork. Each one of these, by the way, does have alternate artwork. I'll just show you this one for the hell of it. This is the one commissioned by Vinegar Syndrome, and this is like original poster art. This is the one that a lot of people love, and it's very much a so bad it's good, like what the fuck kind of movie. They use a lot of claymation at moments that is not integrated very well, and it's just kind of laughable and funny, and that's part of the charm of the movie. There are a lot of weird characters and just inexplicable plot points, and people love the hell out of this movie. And I have to say that I think it might be my least favorite in this set. That might be kind of a hot take. I think we had already watched a movie in theaters the night we watched this. I think we saw Spiral, the Saw movie, and then we came over to my house and watched this. And it just felt drawn out, even at 76 minutes long. I don't know, I was like, damn, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. I think the hype was too much, and it just didn't live up to the hype for me. But it is, I think, a film that will satisfy most people's needs. The second one here is most people's hated, Fatal Exam. This movie's long, and it's really amateur. It's 114 minutes. That's really long for a paranormal slasher movie. But going into this, I knew it was going to be long as shit, and I walked out of it feeling charmed by it. Some of the performances are just hilarious and terrible. There's this one guy in the movie who drinks, like, I swear, like 20 cans of, was it Diet Coke? They're just Coke cans or something all over the set, and it's hilarious. And it had, did it have good kills? I can't even remember. I just remember it being very exposition heavy, a lot of explaining of what's happening, and I just felt like, I don't hate it. It's long, it's drawn out, but I was expecting that, and I found some moments to like. So that's Fatal Exam. And the best one in the set, I think, no hands down for me, is Beyond Dream's Door. And this film very much reminds me of something that David Cronenberg would have made in the early part of his career. It feels a lot like a Cronenberg film, just the sense of isolation, the concept of dreams and having these visions. It's very Scanners in some ways. There is some incredible gore and head explosions and violence in this movie too, another staple of Cronenberg. Some hints of body horror, if I'm not mistaken. It was just such a Cronenberg-like film. Those are the vibes I was getting. So I like this one the most in the set. Very cool stuff. So if you want to get these three films in the beautiful box set that Vinegar Syndrome has designed, then I would grab it during this sale, because these box sets sell out fast, and even though there are over 1,000 left, it's very likely, if you ask me, that it will sell out, because it's a hot ticket item, baby. So Homegrown Horrors, Volume 1, don't miss your golden opportunity. Death Promise, this one, the slipcover will not sell out. There are over 1,000 left. This film came out in the beginning of the year. I already talked about this film in another video, and I really liked it. If you want to hear all of my thoughts on Death Promise, you can check that video out. I talk about some other great films in that video, so definitely check that one out, and you can use those as recommendations, of course. And the last one of the slipcovers here is another newer release that I think should be falling into the 50% off bracket, like all of these other titles. It is Tough Guys Don't Dance, and this is not an exploitation film. It's not a horror film. It's not pornography. It is a really misguided book adaptation. It's a drama, thriller, murder mystery, soap opera, romance, and I think that the director of the film was the writer of the book as well. I think he adapted his own book into film, and it's fucking weird. It's like, it's kind of like all of the worst parts of Twin Peaks Season 2, but because it's Twin Peaks, those parts aren't even bad, because Twin Peaks is perfect, of course. The whole thing feels like a soap opera, and it's like a fever dream, and it's tonally all over the damn place, and I can't even remember almost anything about this movie. I watched it completely free of any substances. I watched the film, and about a week later I thought back and I was like, what the hell was this about? Tough Guys Don't Dance. And Isabella Rossellini of, David Lynch collaborations is in this film. And what's the guy's name? The standout in this film is Wings Hauser. Wings Hauser, I had never seen him in a film before, but if I ever see his name credited on anything going forward, I will always watch it, because he was a total nut in this movie. His performance was so heightened. It was insane. This is a great, almost so bad it's good type movie. I can't even tell with this one. It's just completely baffling. So if you want to watch something that'll make you question everything about what the film is intending to do, check out Tough Guys Don't Dance. Plenty of these slipcovers are in stock. It will not sell out during the sale. The film just came out in August, I think. And we are on to just the normal standard edition releases. These films do not have slipcovers in stock anymore. Wonder Woman, I just watched this film for the first time, and I really did love it. I had such a blast with it. I was expecting it to be sleazy exploitation stuff, but it really wasn't that sleazy, which I thought was kind of refreshing. And it stars Nancy Kwan and Ross Hagen. Nancy Kwan is she's on an island like outside of the Philippines doing these like sex experiments, so it's kind of like Dr. Humpp a little bit. And Ross Hagen is like a private investigator who is planning to thwart her plans of brain sex. I'm sounding like a crazy person, I'm sure right now, but this had some really well shot action. The soundtrack rocks harder than most. It actually does. It's the origin of the Vinegar Syndrome theme song. The Vinegar Syndrome theme is taken from a song from this movie. So it already is kind of like A-tier Vinegar Syndrome just for that. It has a great cast of characters, and it was just a lot of fun. And the lead character, played by Ross Hagen, Mike Harbour, was the protagonist, I guess. He was charismatic, but he was like such a hard ass, and I was like, is he even a good guy? I was trying to determine. I was like, okay, is Nancy Kwan the good guy, like the sort of anti-hero, or is Ross Hagen supposed to be the good guy? I couldn't tell. And there's a really great chase scene in this film as well, where a person actually gets hit by a fucking car.
And it was crazy.
Special features on here are pretty solid. I wish there were more. There is a commentary track with the director that I thought was pretty interesting and somewhat eye-opening to the production of this film, and I had a fun time watching it. And there is also a sort of like cast interview. Really, it was shot on like someone's phone or something, or a really low quality camcorder. It was a screening of the film from like 2010 or something, and it actually gets cut short because the footage was lost. I do wish that it had an interview with Nancy Kwan, the other lead of the film, being that she's still alive, and that I just think it'd be interesting to have her perspective on this film, being that she plays pretty much the lead character. And other than that, there's like a trailer, TV spots. I wish there was a little bit more special features on here because I really liked this film and would love more insight, but what are you gonna do? Next one here is Demon Wind. This is a really great film that I think does a lot of things so well. It's a little bit of an Evil Dead ripoff, but it has a more supernatural element to it, and it even has some like Star Trek type prosthetic makeup towards the end, which is absolutely crazy and just hilarious to me. And I love the cast of characters in this film. They're all like great friends who are meeting up to help one of their best friends basically discover the mystery behind his family and his father's death, and really just his heritage and where he comes from. And the way that they interact, they're so chipper and cheerful towards one another. And it's like, man, it's great to see you. It's been so long. How are you doing? It feels so unnatural and awkward, but it's also just so... It feels so right at the same time. It feels like they are all really great friends, having a good time, meeting up again. I have a lot of fun with Demon Wind. Cool special effects. I think it could use a little bit more gore. That's my biggest gripe with the film. But other than that, Demon Wind is a hell of a lot of fun and comes highly recommended from me. Mountaintop Motel Massacre. I watched this one quite a few years ago now, but I just wanted to recommend it as a good slasher. It has a really creepy and dark opening that really disturbed me and put me off from the very beginning. And then a lot of the film is actually at nighttime. It's really dark, and it's a very like natural feeling dark, and I just enjoyed the different people who were staying at this motel during the night of this massacre slashing spree. It had such a weird eclectic group of characters that I just thought were all funny and enjoyable in their own right. And it also is another film kind of like Dial Code Santa Claus, in that the set has so many weird nooks and crannies and secret passages that make it kind of fun and interesting. It's almost a little bit like I'd compare it to almost to like Bad Times at the El Royale. Is that what that Drew Goddard film was called? Where you could see into everybody's room. It had all those secret passages. This film was set up like that. The motel had all these weird secret areas that you could move around with, and I just thought that was a fun setting. And yeah, it's a good slasher. I like this one. And the last film that I would like to talk about here that I have in my fingertips is possibly my favorite Vinegar Syndrome release of them all. It is Body Melt. This is a 1990s body horror comedy, pharmacology, medicine horror movie that is completely off the wall. It channels so much like Dead Alive, Cronenberg body horror energy that I was destined to fall in love with this film. It is directed, I believe produced, written, and the score is composed by the same guy, Philip Brophy. And it's a shame because I don't think he's done any other films other than this one. He may have directed some shorts, but I think this is his only feature film, which is such a shame because this is, to me, such a confident and well-made effort in horror, and it completely stands on its own. It's a completely unique experience, and it is just so crazy. The special effects are incredibly well done. They're absolutely disgusting. The humor just hits me. The humor is so Dead Alive to me. It has that same type of punch to every goofy, insane moment. And this is just a film that I have so much fun with. It tells the story of a town, like a cul-de-sac community, who are unknowingly having this new vitamin being tested on them, and the corporation that has created this vitamin is trying to get it onto the market and make profit. You know, it's a big corporate profit driven company, and the people who are taking these vitamins are like melting and exploding and popping, and they're just getting completely destroyed by these vitamins. And it's a crazy movie. It does so much. I love it to death. This Blu-ray is packed with special features. I haven't even been able to soak in everything that this disc has to offer. There are so many commentary tracks, interviews, galleries. The director and all of the film crew really just seem to be really involved with the release of this Blu-ray, and they have so much to say about it from what I've listened to, and it's just great. I love Body Melt. It's so much fun. One of my very favorite Vinegar Syndrome releases, without a doubt. If you have not watched Body Melt and what I explained sounds wonderful to you, do not hesitate. It's a great one. But yeah, that is pretty much everything. Those are my recommendations for this sale. There's always so much more I could recommend and talk about, but I can only fit so much into one video. This has already been so incredibly long and so long-winded, and I can't believe I talked this long about these films. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Enjoy the sale, everybody. It starts at 12:01 Eastern Time on Friday the 26th. So stay tuned for their sale. I hope this video was helpful to you all. For any of you who are new into Vinegar Syndrome, or maybe are veterans who didn't have any of these films and were wondering about them, I am foaming at the mouth. I am so thirsty. I have to cut it here. Thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy the sale, and I hope to see you all again soon.